Discord, the link of your live stream. Yep.
Hi, I'm Mac McCarthy, and I help people with their breakups. And today we have a really, really good show. We're going to get into my first love broke up with me. And as the great, powerful, and wise Aleph of 23 years of age, my video editor, my assistant here, and my helpful live stream assistant said, everyone's been in love before. I said, I don't think that's true. There's a lot of people that go, you know, my first girlfriend, I thought I was in love, but this one was real love. So people will go, yeah, we were together, but looking back, we weren't really in love like this one. So love evolves, and your meaning of what love is in a relationship and how close you are to someone, because let's be honest, when you're a teen, when you're, late teen and you're early 20s, a lot of times you are chasing the fishing lure of attraction. She's beautiful, he's handsome, they're this. Maybe there's some personality involved. Maybe there is. But that's really what you're after. And then when you get a little bit older, I think when you really do meet someone that lines up with more than attraction, don't get me wrong, attraction is important. So I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, attraction, looks don't matter. It matters. On a scale of 1 to 10, your attraction to an individual should be above 7, 6 to 7 at least. You should never be like, well, I'm with someone, my attraction to them is like a 4. I've had someone call in and tell me, well, I feel bad because I'm not that attracted to them. That's going to be an issue. And by the way, that doesn't mean your friends and family need to find that person attractive. That just means that you are attracted to them for whatever reason. The smile, as Aleph says, he's a big smile guy. As far as that's what he's attracted to, he's like, oh, the smile, right? Some other people, there's other parts of the body that they're more attracted to. So you know what I mean? And so a lot of times people will think about if their friend or someone's like, oh man, she doesn't even look that good. Mm-hmm. I remember I was affected by that when I was younger. I remember having a girl that I was seeing that I thought was really cute, and I had friends and coworkers thought were cute, and a good friend of mine was like, yeah, I wouldn't. She's not that cute. And looking back, it's like, who the fuck cares? You're not, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You're not dating her. But, we tend to be a little bit more insecure when we're younger like that. So anyways, we're going to get into dealing with first love breakups. And I wrote some stuff out here, so I'm going to go off on it. If you are watching this live stream from the top or a replay, the Discord, what do you call it? The Discord link, that's what it is. Oh. The link is in the description right here. So if you want to join the Discord, an ongoing conversation about your breakup with other people that watch my channel, it's Coach Mac McCarthy. Also, if you'd like to go to my IG, that is Coach Mac McCarthy Instagram. So that's a pretty simple one. And if you want to go to my website, it's rightmac.com, and you could book a live coaching session if you want to unpack your breakup situation. Okay, so let's get into it. Dealing with your first love breakup. And people will tell me this too, when they get into it. I've had clients that she was my first love. She was my first love. She was my first this. She was my first that. I get it. And the guys seem to have more trouble with this, by the way. You think women would be more romantic, more emotional about it. The guys seem to be very, very hurt by the idea, that's my first love. That's the first girl I said I love you to. And one of the reasons is I was sparked to do this topic today is I had a really good coaching session with a client that came back to me from a few months back. And he was in a relationship for 3+ years. Really good dude, good head on his shoulders. Had a good life growing up with his family and whatnot. Doesn't have any issues, doesn't have depression, doesn't have anxiety. doesn't complain about the world fucking him over, or never mentioned COVID or anything like that. He's got a career lined up. He's in his mid-20s, and he's just a good, you could just tell he's a good person. He's easygoing, and he's not going to have trouble once he embraces being single, finding another woman. The problem is he's had 5 or 6 months where he just can't get his head off the idea that, why did this happen? Because he's like, we had a really good relationship. We were good together, right? And so we went through, sometimes I use different strategy or tactics or ways to get to the bottom of things and really unpack what's going on in your breakup, or why you're stuck on something when we're in a live coaching session. And so one of those things is I have a sequence of 10 questions that I ask you to answer, and I'm not going to share those all. I've shared them before, I think a long time ago, but if you're in a live coaching session, I'll go through them. And anyhow, some of the questions spark something, and some of them are like, I don't know. But one of the questions I asked was, when did this? I forgot exactly what it was. When did this problem first arise, or when did it start? Something to that effect. I don't have the question in front of me. But I was gonna say I was gonna say that he would say when the breakup happened. A lot of people would be like, "Oh, when the breakup happened," but no. This is why questions are so important. His answer was, well, when I first said I love you. Because to him, when he crossed that bridge into I love you, he was like, we're at another level now. Like, now I'm committed, I'm all in. Because it meant so much to him to tell a woman he loved her for the first time and be serious about it, that this is one of the things that he's actually hanging on to, is that you don't just break up with someone you love. And then when I asked him about his family and his parents had stayed together through a couple rocky moments. He had a good childhood. He had loving parents. So love to him was one of those things where you don't give up on it. You don't just break up and go, yeah, I don't have feelings anymore. And so I think that's what's really bothering him. His definition of love has been questioned. And here's the thing. People don't realize this. You go into a dictionary and you get the meaning of a word. And Aleph, you'd get this because English is your second language. So you sometimes will be like, what does that mean? And you go to the dictionary. Mm-hmm. But words like love, I don't know if the dictionary defines it for everyone.
Everyone got love in different meaning, I think.
Yeah, well, let's put it this way. Let's just say this. Let's just say that you, and I'm not saying this from my own experience. Let's say you have a parent, and I've had clients that have said this, that have had brutal childhoods. And not just abuse, but parents that tell them, I don't love you, I don't do this, and I can't imagine it. But it happens. What do you think their meaning of love is?
Yeah.
Do you understand what I mean? This is like, so when this guy told me I had a great relationship with my parents stayed together. Unfortunately, his one of his parents passed away, which is tough. But he's like, I don't have anything to play, and that's where he's having a lot of trouble, I believe, moving forward, because he's like, love to me, you stick together. If it's good, it's good. You don't bail on it. So today I'm going to talk about something I've talked about before. I'm going to go into a little bit more detail, and I've written something out. So bear with me. We've got 4 on deck today. I'm on a little different time frame than usual, so maybe people aren't. What's up, Rob? You're just in time for my speech. So, dealing with first love breakups, and I'd ask you, if you're watching this live stream later on, and Rob, maybe I'll ask you just individually. You obviously, well, this is funny because before we got on air, I was talking to Aleph about this, and he's like, "Oh, everyone's loved someone before or had a first love."
Yeah, I think that.
I mean, you'd be surprised about the amount of people that, when they get in their late 20s, even early 30s, and they're like, actually looking back, I don't even really think I love them, or I haven't had a relationship that was serious. So there's people out there that haven't experienced it before, and we assume We assume that. Rob, what was your first love like? Was it a good relationship? And was it your most painful breakup? I'm just curious. Because for me, I'm always talking about past relationships because I think it builds rapport with the audience that, I've been there before. This isn't one of those things where I've had it worse. It's just reflecting on my own life. For me, my second relationship was the toughest breakup also because that was the first person that I really opened up to and said, I love you, and was all in. And so I believe that I do believe the first person you believe you were in love with, and it was a good relationship where you had, more good times than bad times, it's going to be more difficult to deal with and move forward. It's going to take more time. You can't just go, I watched a YouTube video and they gave me 10 reasons that I can get over my ex and I can do this. And it's not going to work that way. I can help you unpack it. I can help you get the map. I can help you get the compass. I can give you some waterproof matches and a Swiss Army knife. But you still got to go through the forest yourself and come out the other end. But the good thing is, if you take your time and you do it right and you heal right, your next relationship will be better because you'll learn so much about attraction. You'll learn so much about relationships, and you'll go to yourself, well, this and this went wrong, and then be accountable for where you were wrong, and then be mindful of there were some things about her that I didn't really like, that I just kind of dealt with, that I don't want in a future partner, that enables you to be more picky in the future. Rob says, when analyzed at later point in life, I suspect I reevaluate the so-called first love as something more minor. First was likely a new experience, so looking back seemed worse at the time than it actually was. And no, first wasn't the hardest looking back. Okay. How old were you and how long did it last, if I may ask, Rob, if I'm just curious? And so, Al, if you did have a first love?
Yes.
And how old?
For the first love is on 17. I think that's it, love.
I think.
Well,
I think means I don't know.
The reason why I said I think because everyone have the different meaning of love.
Yeah.
So that's why I said I think. Because even I said that it's correct or not, it depends on your judge because your experience of love meaning is different.
Also, you want me to add something else to the pot here that we're talking about this?
Mm-hmm.
Timing that person's your first love and what you went through with them.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, for example, if you went through recovering from a drug problem, or you went through they lost a parent, or you went through, like, those things add to your level of closeness. Mm-hmm. If someone's with you through a bad time, you will hold stronger feelings towards them. So Rob mentioned, yes, this is only something people can assess years later when you compare them all together. So he's saying, you might think that this was your first love, your best partner, but until years later and you've had a couple others, you can really go, actually, this is really what love is. So, Dark Knight, you're in for a real treat. Did you have a first love, Dark Knight? How did it go? And did you, at the time when you broke up with that first love, think, oh my God, this is the worst? I would say that the first girlfriend that I had that was 19, a lot of people are like 19, that's kind of late. No, like that was my first serious girlfriend. 18 or 19, I think. Year and a half or so, good girlfriend, all that. I did say I love you, but it wasn't nearly the feeling that I had with the second one. No way. And I kind of knew that. So that breakup to me wasn't like, oh my God, I lost the love of my life kind of a thing. Also, it adds, if your first love and you have made plans, we were going to have kids together, we were going to get married, like, because then they're like, hey, you didn't keep up the side of the plans, man. Mm-hmm. Like, hey, people do this all. We were talking about kids' names, Mac.
What do you think about our future?
No, but I get it. I'm not making fun of it.
Yeah,
because when you're in it, It's a cool conversation. I don't know if I've been there on that, but I've been in love and I've been in relationships that you just don't. To me, real love, for me, and this is my thing, it's not tried. Someone doesn't need to go like, hey, say you love me, say you love me. It's not tried. It just is. And some people say I love you more. Some people are more affectionate. Some people don't like to hold hands because that's the way they were raised.
The reason why I'm laughing, I'm sorry, because I've been that place about twice time, and all of my ex are also asking me about that question when we got married and about the kid's name like that. I'm laughing, sorry with that too. It's my bad habit, for laughing for bad things.
Don't be sorry about laughing about stuff. Everyone has different sense of humor. There's a line, but that's not one. KKM, hi Max. So my boyfriend just sent me a photo of his new female friend, but doesn't want to talk about it or ask it about it. Well, I don't know why your boyfriend of long distance would want to send you a picture of his friend. That's silly. To be honest, I think my first real love was my recent ex, which turned out to be the biggest disappointment and betrayal. Oh well, live and learn. But yeah, it was harsh. So that's what I mean. Like, is it possible that your definition and your meaning of love evolves over time? I know that at 39 years old, I'd be looking for something way different than I was at 21. Okay, so why your first love won't be your last? All first loves are special in most cases. Even if they were disastrous, even if it was bad, it's still your first love. Okay? They are memorable for most. They also set the tone for expectations in future situations and relationships. So they're really important because you're always going to circle back. Whenever you have a relationship, let alone someone you said I love you to for the first time or felt those feelings, you're going to circle back and compare your next relationship. And if something happens in your next relationship, you're going to go, oh, that happened before, so this is going to happen. That could be dangerous. In the case of first loves, a breakup with your first love will in all likelihood be your most painful. And you might not even know it, as we just discussed in the live stream, that this person is your first love. Because later on you're going, oh, actually this was my first love. The first person I was with, I didn't really love them. So let me say that again. In case of the first love, a breakup with your first love will all likelihood be your most painful, especially if it's the first time you experienced a really good relationship. So let me explain what I mean by that. Maybe your parents had a shitty relationship. They stayed together, but they never got along. Maybe your dad was an alcoholic, but always took care of the finances. Maybe your parents broke up early on. Maybe your grandma and grandpa took care of you, and they were actually really good role models. Whatever that is, that's your model of what a relationship is when you grow up. So you're always going to be like, this is what relationships are. And until you get into a relationship on your own, and I'll add this, I think when you're younger, you don't really know what you want. It's kind of like when you say like, I'm not sure what kind of job I want to do or career I want. Some people do. Some people like, I want to be a doctor. I'm going to school for this. They're very serious. And those are the people that have relationships early. They're very decisive and they know what they want. But going back to this really good relationship, you can get fooled or manipulated a lot easier when you're young by someone that's just attractive to you and good looking and just says a few of the right things. So when you get your first relationship where someone cares about you, where someone picks you up dinner when you didn't ask, when someone, you're sick and you got a cold and they still give you a kiss on the cheek because they don't care. They're not worried about the cold. They want to get you some soup. They want to take care of you. They want to be there for you. It's the highest level of love is unconditional love. And so when you get into a relationship that's really, really good, and if that's your first one, it's gonna take some time. because those don't grow on trees. In the 21st century, the availability of information has changed human relationships. We are constantly judging and recalibrating our situations. We are diagnosing problems in the relationships at an all-time high. We are looking for optimal relationships that involve happiness, better intimacy, and compassionate communication. We are reading articles, watching YouTube videos from experts that claim if we do this, or we don't accept this, then this will happen. It all creates more questionings of our relationships. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying it's creating a dynamic where people aren't just dealing with their relationship. They're going, "Ooh, wait a minute. I got a narcissist here. Mac, I got a bipolar disorder. Did they go to the doctor? No, I just found out through YouTube that that's who they are." Okay. Do you think, did our grandparents before the internet and social media have these type of relationships? Short answer, no. Did they stick it out and have longer relationships? Short answer, yes. I don't know what generation you're from, but I'm 39, so let's just say late 30s. Grandparents, my friends' grandparents, on and on, a lot of them stayed together. Was that always a good thing? Short answer, no. They fought too. I'll share an example of this. So someone said in the Discord, like, people don't stick it out as long. People don't stay in relationships as long. They don't work things out. It's a double-edged sword, folks. And this is the crazy thing. Your relationship, your dynamic is individually, uniquely based on you and the other person, because you two people, there's only one of you in the fucking world. This idea that you're going to figure it out as a generalization. Well, most people nowadays, they just bail on a relationship after a year and a half or 1 year because that happened to you. Everyone bases everything on what happened to them. Is it true that a lot more relationships are shallow and short? Yes. Is it good to view that this happens all the time? No. So let me give you an example, because if we look at our grandparents' time frame where everyone stayed together and stuck it out, and let's just say that maybe we'll take away the part of working on things, in the sense that I bet grandparents stayed together because their roles were more defined. The male was the boss. The woman was the homemaker. Just an example, right? Like, grandma's not going to question grandpa as much. He makes more money. He's the man. Fee, fi, fo. Caveman shit, right? So my mother, my grandmother, they never talked about this much. My mother talked about it a little bit, but my mom's never been like, "Oh, I had this bad child." She didn't talk about it. A lot of people, to be honest, when they had really bad shit happen when they were young, they don't talk about it. When someone brings that shit up, it's a little suspect when someone brings it up again and again, because a lot of people don't talk about it when it's really bad. But my grandfather abused my grandmother physically, hit her. I didn't know him. He passed away before I was born. My grandmother, who I knew well and was a great grandma, loved her very much. She's passed away, I believe, 10 years ago. Good woman. Good person. Funny, too. Really funny. Never brought this up, by the way. My mom told me this years later. My grandfather, the first time he beat her up, she went back to her parents. And she said, "What do I do?" And this, from what I understand, this isn't just like you got smacked. It was like a beating. Okay? And you know what her parents told her? "You must have done something wrong. Go back there. Apologize." That's old school. Could have been cultural. She was from Spain. I don't know what that has to do with it. Her parents were immigrants. I don't know. But when someone goes, "Oh, just stick it out," I think that our grandparents stuck it out for some things that were good and some things that were bad. That's an individual situation, but I think that was more common in the past. Hey, you're married. Deal with it. You can't get a divorce. See how this works both ways? Now, on the flip side, what we have now is we have people that go, I'm not happy. We just don't do things together anymore. We just don't. You know, we used to date and we used to have more fun. Okay, so why don't you make an effort? Well, he never makes an effort. Why don't you I've talked to people. Did you say this to him? I've talked to people in live coaching said, did you say what you're saying to me? Well, no, I didn't say anything about it. He should just know. Okay. These are things that you can work on. These things are negotiable. Now, the other thing that's come up a lot, and especially in first love, some people just get fucking bored. They do. And I'll add to the internet thing. The internet right now with social media is competitive happiness. Look how great my life is. I'm on a beach today. I have the best fucking breakfast in the world that you'll never be able to eat. Ha ha ha. I'm on a jet ski. My life is so wonderful. If you got enough friends on social media, you're like, God, this person's just crushing it. And for a moment, you'll be like, damn, wish I was there. Like all this information is flooding you and it's questioning, can I be happier? Happiness is fleeting. Real happiness is never forever. That's the way it is. Now, this is where people get crossed up on the love thing. How much are you willing to sacrifice to stay with someone you love? That's individually based. I'm not happy. I just don't have feelings for you anymore. The other person goes, what? I love you. I'm all in. What happened? So I wrote on. Here's the thing. Times have changed. We in all likelihood will question our relationships more when things go wrong. In simple terms, we have more information. We are all more educated on what relationships should be, or at least the information we get. Dealing with narcissists or depression-riddled people, we got information on this shit. We got playbooks. We got experts telling us what we could and we should do. If your first relationship for the most part was really good, it's going to take a while to get over it. Just is. It just is. But if you take your time and you do the right things, you'll come out of it completely healed and ready for a new relationship. Don't fight the pain or the sadness. Neutralize it. What do I mean by that? Fucking deal with it. Don't do drugs. Don't take pills. Don't drink a bunch of alcohol. Go for a walk, go for a run, and go, God damn, I'm feeling sad today. Deep breath. I'm going to get through this, though. I'm not going to be a victim. But damn, we had a good relationship. We had a lot of fun. But you know what? That's also because of me. You got to have a good self-talk with yourself. That's not bullshit. And if you keep thinking, why? We had such a good thing, then it's time to talk to someone and unpack it. You can talk to myself. You can talk to another coach out there. You can talk to a therapist. I would say it's better to talk to someone outside your friends and family, like myself, that's neutral and non-biased, and really get to the bottom of like, how do I feel about this? You need to talk about it for like an hour, 2 hours, and vomit out all your feelings, emotions, because a lot of times you're just framing it wrong. And sometimes you're doing all the right things. There's a lot of times, and I'll just go, you're doing the right things, man. It's going to take some time. We all want, going back to the internet and all this information, we all want the instant cure, the instant money. We all want that shit. Me too. Certain things don't work that way. But there is, when you come out of a first love situation or someone you really loved them, it's going to take you some time. And it's going to take you some hurt. It's going to take you some pain. And along the way, just like if you hurt your you broke your leg, you'd go to the doctor instantly. You wouldn't go, oh, I'm just going to try to deal with this. I'm just going to try to be tough, and I'm going to just talk to my friend and ask him what he thinks I should do with my leg. Aleph breaks his leg, and Aleph goes, hey, Mac, what do you think I should do? Go to the fucking doctor would be smart. Oh, no, I'm just going to, I'm going to tough it out. You wouldn't do that. So that's why I'm saying if you have a lot of issues, talk to someone that actually deals with this stuff. A coach, a therapist, whatever. Here's the truth. Here's the truth. The truth is, sometimes you know why you broke up, but you don't like the answer. Sometimes you'll never know why, because your ex doesn't want to hurt you, so they'd rather lie. Sometimes they've been hinting for months, making sarcastic comments or snide remarks, but you weren't listening, or you just didn't want to hear it. And then when you break up, you go, fuck, they've been telling me for months. I'll change. I'll do what you asked. I'll stop drinking. I'll stop going out late at night. I'll stop doing this. Yeah, it doesn't work that way. I've already hinted to you about, 6 months now. I don't believe you. And sometimes your partner just doesn't want to have the same breakfast for the rest of their life. They don't want to accept that you snore at night and that you won't clean off the counter after leaving some crumbs from your buttered toast. Seems petty? Not to them. I've had clients like this. She really didn't like the fact that I didn't clean up after myself in the kitchen. She really didn't like the fact that, she brought it up and she said I snored a lot. She really didn't like the fact that I had 3 dogs in my house and that I smoked cigars. Is that a reason to break up? For some people, yes. And especially early, someone will go, yeah, I just don't like your habits. Can't see myself living with you. And the other person's like, what? And then they go, oh, I'll give up the cigars, but I won't give up the dogs. Hey, that's why you got to unpack this with someone, because somehow in your mind, you believe like what you want to believe. The biggest thing that I come across again and again, most individuals don't see in a breakup is their view of the world, how all things should be, isn't that of their partner. Let me say that again. Most individuals don't see in a breakup is that their view of the world and how all things should be isn't that of their partners. This is where negotiations continue throughout the relationship. I want this, you want that. I like this, you like that. Can we meet in the middle? Okay, I'll give in on that. No, you give in on this. No, you give on that. At some point, usually the person who cares less stops negotiating. They just go, you know what? I'm done negotiating. I don't like the way this is going. And the relationship is over. They don't want to work on things. They just want things their way. I want it my way. I'm not going to do that for you. I'm not going to stop talking to my ex on social media. I'm not going to do that. You're just being jealous. Excuse me? We're together. I find it disrespectful that you're talking to your ex playfully, ha ha ha, daily. Can you please stop talking to them? It bothers me. If there's an emergency in their life or they have a big problem, sure, I understand. Every day you guys have chats? No, I'm not with it. Oh, you're just a jealous person. At some point you just go, okay, we're done. Negotiations off. I don't want a girlfriend that talks to their ex every day on the phone with emojis and stuff. Okay? I've come across that. At some point you got to put the line in the sand and go, okay, I'm done. The best thing you can do is accept the breakup but leave judgments on his or her doorstep. This is big. Oh, they didn't do this, or they didn't do that. They didn't do this. They're a narcissist. They're depressed. They just care about themselves. They're selfish. Their parents still take care of them. They don't even do their own laundry. They don't even do this. They don't even do that. You're done. You're out of the web. Let it go. Accept the breakup, but don't accept that you'll find another But don't accept that you'll never find another person who loves you again or that you love in that way. Don't accept that shit. Oh, I'll never find another person that way. That's just a choice. That's just some story you're telling yourself. Stop that immediately. Bet on yourself that you'll find a better individual, that you'll have a better relationship with a better partner in the future, a partner that appreciates and loves you, but let me say that again. Bet on yourself for this, that you're capable of meeting a partner that appreciates and loves you, but might not be there forever. People do die. People do lie. People do leave. It's human. Nothing is forever. Nothing. So you just do the best you can. You go and meet people, you put your heart out there, and you deal with it. So ride it out, enjoy the ride, but don't ever assume the ride of love will last forever. All right, folks, do you have any questions today? I went on a little tangent. I wrote something out today. We were at 36 minutes in. Alep's actually falling asleep right now. He's had enough of this love talk. He doesn't give a shit anymore. Sometimes it's better to let go. The problem is it's hard to let go, right, Derek D? I mean, I deal with people all the time. I can't let go. I can't let go. Stop saying I can't let go. Start saying I am letting go. You got to reframe your words sometimes. That being said, it still takes time.
Yeah, we have to reframe that because it affects our deep mind. Like we don't really notice that, but it does affect.
The words count.
Yeah, whatever we say.
If you go around, I can't. Okay. That means I won't.
But if you try it, like if you really try that really hard and you say you can, that's fine because you can do it.
It just won't happen right away.
Yeah.
Right.
But for something, you can do it, but you don't even know that you can. But you say you can't.
I've tried having the ex I really care for as a friend, and it wasn't for me. Out of sight, out of mind works best for me. For most people, it does if you still have feelings, especially if you still have attraction as a man. Yeah, it's an online thing, but we are trying to see each other. Canada to the USA, but we can't travel where I am, but I don't want to be a friend either. Communication. Great stream as always. Thanks, Dart Knight. I put a little bit of time into it today. You are appreciated. If anyone wants to join the Discord, I'll put the link up again. Oh no, that's not the link.
Do you think there is someone that laughing for their bad things?
What do you mean by that, Alf? This is where your English.
I mean, like
listening.
I am that I'm laughing for bad things that happened before for my life, all my own things.
It's fucking a great way to do things. I actually, when I talk to people in a live coaching session, I have multiple times where I'm not laughing at you, but I'm laughing at the situation because it's not in a way of, ha ha ha, you're an idiot.
Yeah, it's not like that.
Yeah. And there's a beautiful thing that happens when it's one-on-one when you talk to someone that's totally different. It could be two people, but when you don't have a group or a crowd, people get deeper. And so if I laughed at you or something like that, you might at first be like, and then you might go, okay, this shit is kind of funny, right? I've had moments where you got to laugh at some of the things. Like, I bring up that bad breakup a lot. And someone's, like I've said before, was like, oh, you must still be emotional. No, I'm not. I'm bringing it up as a way to relate to a lot of people and understand, I know what it was like and how silly I look back on it and go, what the fuck? I thought life had ended and I was just turning 28. And then to think I would end up living, near a beautiful beach in Thailand years later doing a breakup show and helping people out with their breakups. I didn't foresee that. But I'll tell you what, I'm glad I kept showing up. I'm glad I didn't give up on myself. I'm glad I didn't become a fucking pillhead or, go, oh my God, I'll never meet anyone again. All women suck. All dating apps suck. I was hurt for a good 8-9 months. I was wounded. But I talked to multiple individuals. I read books. I dealt with that shit. I came out on the other end with about a year. I think it was about a year later, maybe a year and a month. I had a new girlfriend that was better for me. That I thought, wow, I could have never foresaw this a year ago when I was at ground zero. I never would have thought, because, and for 6 months after ground zero, I was like, I'll never meet another one like her. She did this, she did that, she did that. A year and a month later, I was thinking to myself, oh my God, I'm so thankful. This girlfriend is outstanding. She's sweet, she's kind, she's all these things. We had a great relationship. She was a great person. Still is a great person. And so I think when you're going through it, you just don't foresee the fact that it's going to get better because it's got to get better. But it starts with you. But at the same time, it's not going to get better in a day. That's for damn sure. And that's where we get lost on the internet sometimes. We just keep looking for the quick fix. Sometimes you're going to have to, sludge through it for a little thing. One thing I notice about myself now is that her looks don't keep me interested beyond a few dates. If she can't hold a stimulating conversation, damn, my interest dies fast now. It was never so before. I think that has to do just with age. I'm the same way, Dark Knight. I think that evolves with age. Because let's face it, when you're in your early 20s, your hormones are a lot higher. And you'll sacrifice good conversation. And I would say that you have so much more life experience, wisdom, and things to talk about that you aren't interested in having hollow conversations just to get in bed with someone. And so that's I've never been a pickup artist or anything like that. I don't have a problem with that community or what they do. Go for you. But a lot of them that I've read about, like Neil Strauss or that, they never are pickup artists for their whole life. Right? There's not I don't find that I've read about a pickup artist that's like, oh, I'm in my 40s and I'm still going strong, or I'm in my 50s. They usually meet their match, meet someone they really love, and then they usually have trouble with that because they're conflicted with the identity of being a pickup artist and actually being in a serious relationship. Now, that's not my own experience. That's just what I've read in multiple cases. I could be wrong. Okay. Rob says 33 Secrets of Okay. I'm sure there's people out there that would say, no, that's not true. He even claims it. Okay. Says him, right? The thing about pickup artists, quantity over quality, what you would consider something worth your time and hooking up with and putting in work or conversating with. Dark Knight or myself might go, I wouldn't even want to put in the work or have conversations with a woman I'm subparly attracted to, or playing manipulative games just to get my leg count up. Is that after one interaction, multiple interactions, Dark Knight? I want to be the main course, not the side chick. That's a good goal to have. Giovanni, A31CRZ, B31. I screwed up in my last relationship 4 months ago. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. If I had more details, I can give you more details. AKA Matt Cross. Who's Matt Cross? Is that the person from 33 Secrets? Wait, so if my boyfriend got a photo of his new female friend, right? How should I react if she's prettier than me? Why would you want to know how to react? That's why I asked you how. This is the same individual that said you're in their 30s. You gotta react however you want to react. Be true to yourself, right?
Maybe he trying to be loyal that he's with this girl, which is his friend.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know enough information about it, but Your rules and regulations, boundaries, expectations in your relationship are up to you. What I expect from a relationship, what Aleph respects from a relationship, what Derek does, what Rob does, it's all up to you. What people don't realize is you create your own rules to the fucking game. And so someone goes, oh, they did this to me and they did that to me. Really? I mean, did they have a gun to your head? Did they, you know what I mean? Those are situations that happen, right? Like that can happen. But a lot of times people are being highly dramatic and victim state where, oh, I just didn't know. No, you accepted it from the get-go, right? If you're in a long-distance relationship, they got a female friend and they showed you a picture of her, could mean 10 or 15 different things. I don't know. I'll tell you where the problem lies. You're in a long-distance relationship of a year and you guys haven't even seen each other. Let's start there and put this picture to the side. I find it silly. For example, this woman I know, very attractive, but all she has in her sexuality, as soon as I get on a call with her, she gets naked. I mean, it's great, but damn, gets boring fast now. Well, you got my attention. He gets on a call with her and she gets naked. Okay. If she's that, one thing that it seems like fun and it seems great and everything like that. You just want to know, is this how she is with every guy? Is she 0 to 100 like this all the time? Might be a pretty frisky cat there, which I don't know if that's the kind of woman you want to be with long term, but good on you. Wow, that's a big statement. Long distance is AIDS? Jeez. I wouldn't look too much into that. So you guys never met, sent you a photo? Yes, Rob. I've talked with him for 10 months and a year already. Amazing. Amazing.
Long distance?
Long distance. I have a client right now that we work together. He started out with a breakup, and then he actually talked to me while he was single and navigating dating, and just wanted my take on things. And we worked together for a long time. Great dude. I might have him on the live stream. He said before he talked to me, great guy. And he was one of those guys. He'd admit it. He was too nice. He's just a really nice guy, really nice person. And he really worked on that. What's really nice is when someone comes to me and you make recommendations or you give homework and then they go and do it and they're like, yeah, this really worked. This really helped. I'm like, I can't do it for you. But he ended up finding a woman finally that was like a girlfriend. They were great, and she got a job somewhere else. But before she left, they were together for like 6 months, and it was really good. Now, if you're going to do long distance, you at least have to have that base. Starting out in long distance, that's twisted to me. Like you don't. It's like saying, oh, there's a new flavor of ice cream coming out, and I'll never eat any ice cream again until I have this ice cream. But you've never tried the ice cream. It's a lot of eggs in one basket. But basically what happened was 4 months ago was I was with her and her friend, which is my friend, and she's the one who introduced me to her. And he brought 2 cigarettes and 2 joints with him in 2 weeks before. A31 Giovanni, you might want to just send your story into rightmac.com if I could recommend that, and I'll read it on a live stream maybe. Or if you'd like to book a session. I talked to him over Skype, online, phone, okay, whatever. If you engage in an LDR with a guy, the probability of him being with someone else is unlikely. Those types of guys have little to no confidence. Too cool. Oh my goodness.
There is a lot of eggs in one basket.
I mean, like I said, if you're gonna do long distance, at least be together before in person. Like, and when you were together, it was really good because you're sacrificing a lot. And then if you're in long distance on top of it, have a finish line like we're gonna be back together in a year or two because they just have a job overseas. Okay, you can sacrifice with a finish line, but like. She said no smoking, but this time she didn't want to argue with me, so she let me smoke it, and I was high. And what happened was she said I was acting very touchy and aggressive, but I don't remember. Wow, most people are really chill when they get baked. it seems like a petty reason to break up, but at the same time, it sounds like there's a deeper problem there that she just doesn't want you to get baked anyways, or to blaze, whatever you want to call it. I've been told, you know, my term for it might be different. Hold on one second, I'm checking out. God, these are just little
Bugs.
Yeah, they're not mosquitoes. There's like the little bugs you see in bananas and stuff. I don't know how they got in here. There we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Fruit flies, he said.
Yeah.
I guess that's what it is. I don't know, man. But yeah, my friend, I think, well, I'll try to help me see her again. How old are you, Giovanni?
What that sound?
I'm gonna call my friend in a little bit.
Oh, okay.
I'm just checking if it works. Yeah, they're annoying. Derek D says, sounds like she was looking. No, we're not going to use the call in from here.
Oh, okay.
Thanks, Aleph. I'm sorry, bro. Okay. Well, this is supposed to be 18 and over, Giovanni, because my plan is to restart with her as friends. No contact, how things go. All right, folks, I'll be back on soon. I might even come back on tonight because I'm going to double down on the live streams this week. This has been good. Feel free to send your story into writemac.com if you want to join the Discord. Here's the Discord. My IG is Coach Mac McCarthy. And the website's right there. I almost would want to ask my boyfriend about why she said the photo. He or she. It seems like he's hiding something about her. I don't know. It seems means I don't know. That means that you're just coming up with random conclusions. That's not a healthy relationship. I don't know what they talk about. That's the thing in long distance relationships. It's all based on trust. So that's why I'm saying you can't be in a long distance relationship if you don't have trust. You can't really gain trust if you've never been together. But she's still saying I love you towards me. But he's still saying I love you towards me. Do you believe him? Do you trust him? Like, trust, attraction, connection are the 3 pillars in my book. But if you're in long distance, if you don't have trust, you're dust. It's done. It's just like you can't even have it. If you're questioning things, you're just going to drive yourself nuts. All right, folks, it's curtains. Have a good one. I appreciate you all. We'll be back on deck again.